Just what does it take to survive in the modelling business?
AA and NA are going to get fuller and fuller over the next sort of 10 years with a lot of people from this business.
And was heroin chic a lot more than a passing fad?
It was like everybody was doing it around me. You know, it wasn't like a really sneaky thing.
How about you and drugs?
Me and drugs.
Models Close Up continues Thursday, 9:30.
I'm Dr. Benjamin Spock.
The celebrated and controversial baby doctor.
He did bring baby care out of a very harsh, insensitive world.
A crusader whose own childhood was full of horrors.
I was scared of my mother and my father.
But there were two sides to Dr. Spock.
He wouldn't kiss me. He never kissed me.
And the public one always came first.
No, I don't have any qualms about going to jail.
Dr. Spock, growing up the hard way, Tuesday, 8:30.
Tomorrow night at 7:30, the price of freedom of speech. The Asian opposition leader challenging Singapore's draconian laws.
Confucius said, the journey of 1,000 miles requires the first step. And I'm just going to take the first step.
He has defied the law. He has spoken in public without a public entertainment license.
Tomorrow night, 7:30.
Good evening, Selena Edmonds with ABC News. Serbian police have resumed their attack on the Kosovo village of Rašek tonight, where 45 ethnic Albanians were massacred on Friday. An emergency meeting of the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe is tonight discussing the crisis.
In almost every case, these people, ethnic Albanians, were shot at close range by Serbian soldiers. 15 have been found in a ditch, lined up, executed. This young woman was gunned down, villagers say, while running away. A child was also among the dead. The period of mourning was cut short. If the objective of the renewed Serbian attack was to empty the village of the remaining ethnic Albanian civilians, it worked. Sharif Siddiqui said, "Of course we're scared. Like the others, they'll kill us too." The Serbian bombardment came despite a strongly argued case by the OSCE monitors that Serb forces not attempt to enter the village. The OSCE wanted to arrange for Serbian forensic scientists to inspect the bodies of more than 40 people massacred on Friday. The OSCE was outraged that the Serbs had started shooting while international monitors were still in Rašak. The OSCE mission to maintain a ceasefire was always doomed to fail. It suits neither the Serbs nor, after this latest massacre, the Kosovo Liberation Army to maintain it. Greg Wiles with ABC News, Kosovo.
Signs today of growing tensions in the Howard government over the Republic debate. Employment Services Minister and monarchist Tony Abbott tried to link his Republican colleagues with the Labor Party, only to be rebuked by Finance Minister John Fay. But supporters of the Republic are also split over the detail.
It's still 10 months to the referendum on the Republic, but already there's serious sniping between coalition colleagues. The former head of Australians for a Constitutional Monarchy, now a junior Howard government minister, Tony Abbott, touched off the latest bout.
Why would any senior minister volunteer to fight a losing war under Generals Beazley, Turnbull and Keating?
Mr Abbott said the pressure for change was coming from the Chardonnay set in Sydney and Melbourne.
I don't belong to the Sydney Chardonnay set, and I also want to say that many of my beer-drinking mates support a republic.
Mr Abbott said the Republic is almost certain to be defeated by an alliance of monarchists and Republicans who don't like the model which emerged from the Constitutional Convention. And Mr Fay did betray some concern, urging the referendum question to be kept simple.
Do we want to remain as we have in the past? Do we want a British monarch as our head of state? Or do we want an Australian citizen? To me, that's a very simple question to answer.
But the politics of this proposed constitutional change are not simple, with Republicans split between the convention model and those still fighting for an elected president.
It's a pretty destructive and unrealistic position. I mean, what they are basically saying is, because the Constitutional Convention did not recommend a model that they supported, Therefore, everybody should vote against it.
The shape of the referendum question will be debated by the Howard Cabinet and Parliament in the first half of this year. Russell Barton, ABC News, Canberra.
The country's highest-ranking federal public servants have been given pay rises of up to 40%. The Remuneration Tribunal approved the pay hike after a lengthy review and lobbying from the federal government. Also included in the wage rise is a performance-based bonus of up to $41,000. This latest increase for Commonwealth executives brings their salaries into line with state public service levels, but the Public Service Union says the rise is inconsistent with other federal cutbacks.
We'd have to question the priorities of this government. They have cut programs across the ABS, and in excess of 50,000 jobs have gone in the last couple of years, and yet they're finding money to resource salary increases for a small handful of public servants.
If the bonuses are paid in full, senior Commonwealth executives could earn up to $317,000 a year. Russian President Boris Yeltsin remains in a Moscow hospital tonight, recovering from an acute bleeding ulcer. This latest health crisis has renewed doubts about his fitness to govern. Mr Yeltsin is said to be in a stable condition, but there's no indication of how long he'll be in hospital. It's at least the 5th time he's been hospitalised since his re-election in 1996. To finance and the floating of Brazil's currency has had a positive impact on world financial markets. The All Ordinaries rose 21 points, with bank stocks leading the way. Overseas, Japan's Nikkei index added 66 points. The turnaround in Brazil also helped the Australian dollar, which is up against the greenback. And now look at the national weather. Late storms for Alice Springs. Late showers and storms are also likely in Canberra. Some showers for Darwin, Melbourne and Hobart. Mostly fine in Brisbane and fine in the other capital cities. And that's all from the National Newsroom. I'm Selena Edmonds. Good night.
The plan looks good on paper.
If I had a baby now, I could cope financially.
But there could be a few technical hitches.
Who do you envisage fathering this theoretical baby?
Because even the best laid plans will come unstuck.
I just worry that this is not the place for meaningful human contact.
Oh no, this is not part of that stupid plan.
There are always a few wrong turns on the path to happiness. Simone de Beauvoir's Babies, Thursday at 8:30.
Rage, that is. Chosen by music's most influential artists.
Buzzcocks were great.
Groove is in the heart, oh yeah.
Rage! Boom! 31 definitive tracks handpicked by Rage guest programmers.
Naughty, naughty. What do you call yourselves?
Rage, the album. Available on CD and cassette through ABC shops, ABC centres and music retailers.
8:30 Friday on Cinema Europe. A shrewd police inspector pits his wits against a famous murder suspect in a powerful psychological thriller. From the director of Cinema Paradiso, and with outstanding performances by Gérard Depardieu and Roman Polanski. A pure formality, Friday 8:30 on ABC.